Okay, this is a comparison test between the Sennheiser wireless, the Lectrosonics wireless, and direct input to the camera. We're using an EX1 Sony camera with XLR inputs. The first test that you're hearing is the direct output from a sound device is 302 with a Neumann shotgun, a 81i, hooked up to the camera directly via XLR cables. The mic is now being held about 2 or 3 feet from my face, and the signal level on the camera has been set to tone. Now we're going to hear tone so you can see what zero tone looks like. That tone level was approximately 2/3 up on the scale, and I could adjust it probably lower. I'm going to put this in auto just so you can see what auto on the camera does. This is auto on the camera. So the auto function of the camera actually decreases the level from where I had the tone set up. That's auto on the camera, and the same setup going back to manual. Manual, so that would say that the manual is probably a little too hot. Right now the dials are about 8, so I'm going to bring it back to 5, which would be a medium level. Okay, both dials are at 5 now, and here's the same tone. Okay, that tone matched what the auto of the camera liked to see. So this looks like the correct level. That previous tone looked like the correct level for tone. Okay, this is the second part of a comparison check between the Sennheiser wireless, the Lectrosonics wireless, and direct input to an EX1 camera. The second part of the test, we have the same setup, which is a sound device is 302. Shotgun mic hooked up on channel with this is a Neumann 81i. The level on the Neumann is peaking at about 0 dB. I have it about a foot and a half from my mouth talking, and the camera setup is going to a wireless G2 Sennheiser system. On the G2 Sennheiser system, we have the sensitivity set for negative 30 dB because this is a line level output out of the 302. The line level output is set on both cameras, on both transmitters, so there's no peaking. It's well within range there. On the receivers, the same thing. I could make it peak, woo, woo, no, 1, 2. And that's a pretty good signal from this point. The camera, I'm going to play some tone so you get an idea where tone is. Tone again is about halfway up on the scale on the EX1, and it's relatively low. The gain control is all the way up on the Sony for using the line level input. What that tells me is the Sennheisers really don't have enough output to run a line level signal into this camera. So the next test is going to be mic level signal for the same setup. Okay, this is the Sennheiser G2 set to mic level. Now, the level that I've set on the RF output on the G2s is negative 12. And I've adjusted the gain settings on the camera to read close to what, well, the gain settings are on 5, which should be right. I'm going to let you see tone to see where the tone level is right now. Now that tone level is a little higher than it was with line level. It's about 2/3 of the way up instead of half. The peaks that I'm getting now with talking are right around 0 dB on the mixer. I've lowered it just a little bit to get a more conservative signal, and Now everything sounds pretty good. So let me go over the setup again. This is the Sennheiser G2's RF output set to -12, going mic level into the camera, and the camera is set on 5 on each channel. Auto, I'm going to just pop it into auto so you can see. Okay, there's auto in the same level. The auto will pump it a little bit and give me more level if I need that. I'm going to put it on tone with the auto level on. Okay, with auto level on, you can hear the pumping going on, and it wants to go to a little higher level. I'm going to take auto off. Auto is disengaged now, and we're back to more realistic setup for professional audio. Manual on both channels, set to 5 on the gain. The output of the transmitter is -12. On the transmitters, the sensitivity is set to -30, which would be a line level, and that indicates that the signal is not peaking, not overloading the first stage of the preamp. So everything looks good. That's the Sennheiser system. Next, we're going to go to the Electro systems. Okay, we've switched to the Electro system, and what we're using now is we're using the Lectrosonics receivers and transmitters. On the transmitters, they're set to about 9 o'clock, somewhere in the 9 o'clock range, and that looks like a good level for the transmitters. And on the receiving end, since we're in mic level on the camera, we've set the levels to -20 and somewhere around 20 to 24 to get about the same tone reading. So I'm going to go ahead and put tone on so you can get a reference. Again, that tone is closer to 2/3 up than halfway like we had originally. I'm going to go to auto, and check tone again. Auto wants to see tone a lot higher. We're going to go back to manual where our tone was, and this is about the correct level. Audio sounds good. I don't hear any distortion if I try to peak it. Woo! 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 I'm getting a little bit of overmodulation in the receivers. Woo! On the transmitters. Woo! Woo! Getting a little bit of overmodulation there, but normal tone sounds good. So we're going to go to line level now. Okay, we're recording again. This is this is the Lectrosonics at line level. Line level, the peaks are the same. I'm right around 0 peaking as I'm talking. The transmitters are within the green range, not hitting red, and the transmitters, the receivers are not overloading any either. The receivers are set to maxed out, plus 5 dB. And on the camera, I've got the gains all the way up to use line level. I'm going to pop it into auto. No, we're going to hear tone first. Here comes tone. Okay, that was tone. I'm going to pop it into auto here just so you can get an idea here. Auto wants to be a lot lower. Auto wants to see this a lot lower. It drops my level when I go to auto. Interesting. Back to normal. I'm going to back off the gain a little bit on the preamp just so we can get an idea what it sounds like. We're backing it off to about 7, which I think would be right. And so this is 7 on the Sony camera controls, line level, input, and the transmitter's maxed out to line level. Okay, that pretty much concludes this test.